So what inspires you to be creative?
People have similar goals, or they inspire you, or they just applaud you. They just push you that little piece further. Even just one person saying, I like what you did, or I saw it, or I felt it, or I got it, or that inspired me to do something. That's it. It could be very tight-knit, but it's very important to have.
Is there a particular place or animal that you feel most reflects your artistic creativity?
Trees and forests and
rooftops,
rivers and waters and wind.
Fire.
Lakes.
Elements?
Fire.
Yeah.
Well, that's where nature is. It's where you have earth, you have air, fire, you have water. You have them all coming together.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're up north in like Heidelberg or something, you're sitting around a fire next to a river, you know, and you've got the wind blowing through the trees, and you got the earth, you know, right? I mean, you have everything you need.
You have all of the elements. You have everything you need to start yourself with just natural creativity.
Yeah.
I think that's different than
Because
maybe
each part
like.
of it makes a song. I mean, the fire is making a song, and it's also a picture to look at. It's a movie. You know, the wind is creating its own song with the trees, and the river does the same thing. So.
There's like natural creativity and there's functional creativity, and I think those are two different things. You can use anything for an item of creativity, any sort of like item in your house, nature, people, music, even other art.
Does intelligence have to do with creativity?
I think it's a type of intelligence.
Yeah.
Creativity itself is a type of intelligence. I don't think it's necessarily part of being intelligent. I think it's like having an intelligence speak through you.
So you think you have to tap into it as opposed to something that is innate within you?
I think that depends on the
I think it's both. I think everybody has the ability to tap into it because we have the innate ability.
Do you think living in this country is better for your creativity?
But I think it stimulates more creativity. I think the fact that everybody is bumping heads in a lot of other places in the world can just cause more dullness. I think there's so much more space to expand in Canada. And because that means that you have to work harder, there's a lot more tumultuous times. But I think the fact that there is that room to expand is what, you know, an artist or someone who is creative can thrive on.
I agree with that. But I also think that the more environments that you put yourself in, and the more regularly you change your environment, the more data you have to reflect upon, and then develop creatively.
And do you think that's a positive aspect of it, how diverse our geographical regions are?
I think Canada. I think like Toronto, for one, being so multicultural, I think that's a definite benefit because you get a lot of influences that you wouldn't get unless you traveled the world. You know, you wouldn't necessarily hang out with a Sri Lankan guy. You know.
But do you do that? Do you feel that you stick with your own culture more than, or do you expand even in a place that has at the front door over 50, 60, 100 cultures?
Yeah, I mean, I think I do more so than I would if I was like, you know, Midwest.
But as a Canadian, what is our culture?
So living in the biggest city definitely influences your access to creative culture in terms of a global.
I think so, but I also think traveling and just seeing things like actually seeing the mountains of BC or you know the Highlands of Scotland, like I just did. Like, at the same time, I mean, you got to have a home base. You have to have somewhere where you can settle and reflect upon all that stuff. Because if you're constantly on the move, you don't really have time to dig into what you've experienced because you're just constantly being part of a new experience.